Hi, everybody. It is Tuesday, the 12th of September, 2023. Please remember that I am a clairvoyant, clairaudient psychic, so everything I say on this channel is for entertainment purposes only. The full disclaimer is down in the box, along with links to a couple other channels and the link to my Buy Me the Coffee stuff. Okay, um, so let's get going. It's being bantered around on social media that, okay, we know that Elon has purchased Tweet and renamed it X. Well, the new rumor is that he's going after Marky Z's product. So then, okay, so then Book of Faces and some instant gram situation may be under the control of Elon also. Kind of reminds me of Randolph Hearst. A lot of you people probably don't remember who he is or but go back. He's the guy who created San Simeon up on the old Pacific Coast Highway. He was involved with Marion Davies, and I think he was the grandfather of Patty Hearst when she was back in the 70s, kind of snatched by that goofy Symbionese Liberation Army. Yeah, Randolph Hearst basically owned over 50% of the newspapers. And before the internet, before the 1980s, TV and actual newspapers, that's where people got their news. TV, radio, and a newspaper. So Elon, I think, is trying to be the next Randolph Hearst. That's what I keep getting. Now, this morning I did check our favorite Swede, and yeah, he's commenting on how some people are throwing temper tantrums when they don't get their own way in life. We all know what they are. And a lot of places are making a big stink about the new variation of the 19. But what they're forgetting to tell people, every time that something mutates, it becomes weaker. Yeah. So the 19 was basically a mutation of what went around in 68, 69 called the Hong Kong flu. That's why I never worried and never paid any attention. I mean, a mandate is a request. And if I don't agree with that request, I'm not going to honor it. So I've never honored any mandates. So when they start throwing mandates out again for a weaker version of what was out a couple years ago, why? This stuff is weak. The stuff is getting super weak. Just eat some jalapeno peppers and a couple shots of tequila. That'll get it out of your system. That's what I do. But yeah, whatever. And the other thing I'm laughing about is poor little Jussie, you know, the clown that claimed to have been that created a false narrative on a bitterly cold evening in 2019. Yeah, well, now he went to trial. He was given his sentence, and now they're trying to get his sentence reduced because it's too extreme. Let's put it this way. If Kimmy Fox wasn't in her position, yeah, he wouldn't have gotten that light of a sentence. So, Jussie, go in, sign yourself in, do your time, and then shut up. Oh, but people know that he's a wide receiver, so I guess he's afraid of being passed around like a girl given a roofie. That's what I get on that mess. Now, we've got, yeah, the Z guy is now begging for more supplies from us. I guess he's running out of 16Fs and he needs more supplies. And I'm like, dude, all you're doing is playing video games. Well, yeah, he's asking for more heavy duty stuff because Elon cut off his Starlink connection. Z guy no longer has the internet. So his game of drones is kind of going down the tubes real fast. And the other thing going on in Europe, I guess tonight, if it's supposed to happen about 2 a.m. tonight, tomorrow morning at 2 a.m. The wench who wants to take over the EU, Ursula von der Leyen, yeah, she's going to have a big speech on the State of the Union. And yeah, 2 a.m. Wednesday the 13th, 2 a.m. Central Standard Time. So that's, what, 8 a.m. UK time? Yeah, she's going to give this speech, and it's ironically timed to be just before the European elections. So yeah, von der Leyen, she's another Adolf wannabe, just like Angela Merkel and the Z guy. So people, you just gotta watch out what the heck is going on with this nonsense. But the big thing that's going on, yesterday was basically an unofficial day of mourning worldwide. Yeah, we all remember what happened 22 years ago. Well, now all the stories are coming out about how Jojo was basically an absolute total embarrassment for us. We know he went from the G20 summit to Hanoi. He made an ass out of himself dealing with the communist Viet Cong leaders of Vietnam. I mean, they actually had to cut his speech short there. So they hustled him after he saw where McCain was captured in the Hanoi Hilton. He was then thrown back on Air Force One and flown to Anchorage, Alaska. Well, yeah, and Anchorage is where he gave his speech in memory of yesterday, but it was more like a mumble rumble, and no one could make heads or tails out of it. And yeah, and then he continues to lie, saying, "Oh yeah, I was there at the site on the 12th." No, he wasn't. People have him on videotapes, archived security tapes of he was in Washington D.C. on the 11th and several days afterwards. So it's kind of disgusting, because also it's now come out that when he was over there, he also did some wheeling and dealing. And we now know what the current ransom price is for Americans being held in Iran. It's not only an even person exchange, one person for one person, but we also have to give $1.2 billion to Iran. But it's not exactly given to Iran. You see, the money that's been held in the U.S. banks is then transferred to a South Korean bank, and the South Korean bank is then going to transfer it to a bank in Qatar. And then from how the Iranians get the money, well, you know, they're all dudes that pray 5 times a day, just like Barry. Barry has orchestrated this deal because Barry prays 5 times a day. And that's why they make Mikey be Michelle, because when the truth comes out about Mikey, you see, in the hardcore countries where they pray 5 times a day, Barry is going to get pitched off a roof. So when the truth is finally out, verified about Barry, and how Barry is the puppet master of Jojo, he's going to lose the support of all the people who pray 5 times a day, because he's going to be an absolute total embarrassment to them all. And it's going to explode fast. I mean, especially now that the Speaker of the House, McCarthy, he's just about to say, go for it in starting the impeachment process on Jojo. Because they have gathered so much. I mean, they're doing the digging on Hunter, and via Hunter's, the investigation discovery on Hunter's nonsense, so much Jojo's nonsense has been exposed that if we don't impeach Jojo, we're going to look like a bunch of idiots. And yeah, they've got Cammy Poo as the insurance policy, but Cammy Poo is now, I guess she had her little party to celebrate 50 years of rap hip-hop music. And basically they're questioning Cammy now, because you see, Cammy is like multiracial like Rachel is. But like Rachel, they didn't marry another man of color or of mixed race. They went for white guys. So some poop is going to be hitting Cammy Poo really seriously about that. And people are going to start going after Rachel for the same business. Why did she marry a white guy? If she's such a woman of color, why didn't she marry a man of color? So those two analogies of those two women are going to start blowing up in their faces. Now, I mentioned the other day that I guess Rachel had included a gazillion things in the rider for her to appear at the Invictus Games. And the first hotel that was booked was, no, we're not doing it. Well, now, from what other sources are saying, they're staying at a Hyatt Regency hotel. Guess who owns Hyatt? J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois. Yes, J.B. Pritzker is making tons of money with his Hyatt hotel chains. A lot of his hotels down along the southern border are filled with wetbacks. Like I've said numerous times, he's getting $400 a day per person to house these fools. So now he's providing refuge for Rachel in Germany. He is, Putzker knows, well, I call him Pugsley Putzker. Putzker knows, he's already been rumbling and making noise here in Illinois how he wants to be president. Well, he knows not to he's smart enough to know not rock the boat with Biden. But J.B. Putzker has his eyes on 28. So Illinois, he only has to suffer through how many more years of his mismanagement? Well, Illinois is a blue state, but after all the nonsense and his stupid mandates, and when it comes out the identity of his mistress that he keeps up in Wisconsin while his wife lives in Florida, it's going to explode faster than the people looking for a way to get rid of Baboon Johnson. But yeah, let's put it this way. Jojo is self-imploding. His handlers, Barry, really screwed up by scheduling him away from the mainland, the lower 48. Yeah, he had him basically giving back Iran what do my notes say? How much is it? $6 billion. And $6 billion back to Iran, along with 5 terrorists. And what we get back are 5 hostages, 5 people who have been stuck there. So he set a precedent. If anybody else is being held by extremists that pray 5 times a day, now the bounty price is 1 prisoner and $1.22 billion. So I hope Barry is going to be exposed for being a wide receiver, or he's on the down low. It's going to come out. And when that is officially outed, he will no longer be taken seriously by anybody under the control of the people who have to do Hajj. So it's going to get interesting very, very soon. And yeah, and I'm waiting to find out, because I do have friends down in Springfield, Illinois, and it's like I have ears, and they're gonna probably hear Putzker bitching about what happened at the Hyatt Regency location that Rachel camped out at during the games. So as soon as I hear that, I will definitely post it. But it's yeah. So people are. We just have to wait what happens in the next few hours. Because, yeah, Jojo's embarrassment, it's now worldwide. People are screaming bloody murder. McCarthy has basically pushed the go button for impeachment. Cammy Poop has made herself an absolute total embarrassment with that hip-hop stuff. Gruesome Newsom has made it public knowledge that he's not going to challenge Biden. Putzker's going to stay put and destroy Illinois for another 4 or 5 years. And all the other idiots have is phony charges against Donald, where it's, folks, some stuff is going to be coming out. And it's going to expose a lot of the donkey shenanigans and where the donkeys are getting most of their money from. And their source of income is going to be decimated soon. I can't say how, when, or why. I just know it is. I do have the information, but I can't release it. And today there's stuff I've got to go do, because when I was taking notes this morning, I had a flash like, oh my gosh, I've lived this day before. So there's stuff on my agenda I have to go do, and when I get the rest of the information that I'm supposed to be given, I'll spill the beans on the 14th. So sorry it's short, but hey, I can't wait for 2 hours for this to upload. because you have to watch your computer as it uploads. So everybody have a good day. Yeah, I'll be the next video goes up on the 14th. Talk to you soon. Bye bye.